Hello everyone. I have been doing a lot of lettering lately, and I've been taking online classes, learning from uh, examples, other lettering artists. My art did not really involve a lot of lettering, and wherever it did, it was mostly fonts. But as you can see here, I've been doing some lettering. So I have asked users, followers for names, and I have a list of names here, and I've been doing these names. So let me just show you. This is what I started with. So this was the first name done. Then this is the second one, and also I did not want to just keep them black and white. I was doing colors. So just to you know test out different color schemes. So this is something I did yesterday. Then this one, I think has turned out the best because it's like that retro color scheme. And then I realized maybe I'll just use retro colors for all the new ones. So this one again, so the layout, the style, I have taken reference, but this is a name of a follower from Instagram. And then this one, so this is basically black and white with a simple background. So now in our live stream today, this channel has been dead for a while, so I'm not expecting a lot of viewers, but I want to start reviving it with doing some live streams. So if anyone is here, you can drop a message in the chat window if you want me to illustrate your name. But till then, I have this list, and I have tick marked all the ones that I have done. So I'll just pick a random name from here, and let's start with today's lettering. I think I'll pick this one, Rishu Jaiswal, and I am keeping everything in one single file, and I'm using Procreate here. So how I like to start this is with writing just the letters in a basic form, so I know what letters I'm working with, and I can understand the relationship that they create between each other. Since this is the first name and we are live, I'll be it will take me a while before I get in the groove. So another layer, let me just take this mic a bit out of the way. Okay, on another layer I'll write the last name. I think I'll keep everything uppercase for starting out at least. So I'm planning to do these live streams, I think once or twice a week, to just revive my channel. The last live stream I think was done more than a year ago. And on the left, if you can see, this is like these are the examples of lettering that I'm following. I got this from a lettering artist who does a lot of this, and these are his sort of um, supporters. I think he has some subscribers to his channel, and he does lettering, and he also does these live streams. So something that I wanted to try out. I'm still thinking how I want to do this one. So just for inspiration I've kept these here. I can see, a B here, an R here with that loopy thing happening. So let's try it out and let's see how it goes. And these are hand lettering. I'm going to scribble first to start with, and then improvise. Doing this live also adds that extra pressure of performance. On a separate layer, let's sketch out the last name, and I am going for these blocky letters, and we can improvise as we go. Slowly we'll build up these relationships among the letters, and we can figure out how to make them fit with each other. Let's make this a tiny bit smaller. So the S, I can have that curl lining up with the R. I'll make them line up more in the next iteration. Let's just finish writing all the letters, and then we can think about how much what the layout is going to be. Okay, this has gone too wide, so let us just bring it closer and scale it down a bit. And now let's take this lower. I'll just hide the list of names. And let's give it another iteration where we line up some things. Like the loop of the R. And the eye can go in the same loop. And manually giving thickness and not using a brush deliberately. Let's switch the eraser to the same brush. I'm using 6B pencil brush here. Let's keep the letters similar, all having these serifs. The connection doesn't look that great, so we'll just keep that. I'm somewhat happy with it, not entirely. I can do an iteration on the lower part as well. Let's try to match these things, like the adjacent letters. We'll try to keep the angle same. And the thickness also, let's try to keep it consistent, like this J, let's get it to the same thickness. Maybe I can rotate it along the A. And keeping it a bit larger than the rest. What else can be improved? Finally, let's just create some guides. to see if the letters are aligned. If you want me to do your name next, just type in your full name, your first name and your last name in the chat stream, and I'll go to it as soon as I'm done with this one. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I think this is enough for this one. I'll hide my guides and just collapse this and take it to lower opacity, and let's go and ink this. I'm not using a flat brush. I'm going to hand letter this because I like to draw out my letters. And it also gives it a bit of character. If you have any kind of questions, just drop them in the chat box. I'll get to you in a bit. I like to carve out my letters like this to maintain the thickness. As I'm an illustrator, not a calligraphy artist, this works out better for me. If you're just joining the live stream right now, we are doing some names, and you can drop in your full name in the chat box for me to illustrate next. We'll be doing it in a first come first serve basis. And this is just me practicing hand lettering. It's a new skill that I'm trying to pick up, and I'm using the names of my subscribers as practice. Looks good enough. Let's go to the last name. I'm keeping them separate because I will be adding color to it later, and it's just easier to keep the colors separate in separate layers. sometimes I like to draw the full line and then erase the unwanted bit. It just helps maintain the straight lines. Do I want to do it solid? Okay, let's just keep it solid. The slight taper in the letters looks good, so let's continue that. I'm sculpting the letters. Okay, we have both the names. Let's just center it. And to pick colors, I have some saved lettering, and I'm trying to keep it similar. So I like this vibe. Okay, this will work for us. So how do we go about this? Let's pick some approximate colors so that we can fill them. And let's do a drop shadow kind of thing with a darker color. I'm doing this on one side. Okay, let's fill the same color in the top letters to just make them go together. Looks better. Okay, let's try out something. I'm adding a yellow. This looks good, right? It's working. That's some quick lettering for you. Let's just tweak these colors a bit. What can we add to the top letters? Is this working? Now let's just keep it this way and I'll call it done. Let me check on my previous ones to see if I've done sort of this color background. Okay, just checking it on a smaller scale. I might clean this up a bit later, but for now let's move on to another one. I've just grouped these ones together. Alright, next name. Let's do some more. And I want to pick a style from my saved references, so that I can use the graphic style as well. And I like this one. Let's just copy this style for the next name, which is, I need two names which are similar in scale, the number of letters. So this one, Padma Shri Radha Swami. Let's see how many letters these are. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That's perfect. 10 and 10. And we can angle the letters like what we have here. So let's just write it out first and make sure the name is correct. I'm going to keep it a bit similar to what we have here. So M goes down, and we can tweak this as we go. Let's just start first. I'll keep the two names on different layers. Now I can see some relationships happening among the letters. Let's take some advantage of that. I'm thickening these letters as we go. This is a big name with 10 and 10 letters, 20 letters we have to do here. Let's see if I can move around some letters little bit to add some more character. So let's do the last name on a separate layer, so I can move around the letters to try to interlock them. I can align this to the A. And try to keep similar spacing. I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. What I'm going to do is center this again, turn off my other names, and maybe increase the size a bit. Collapse this together and do the final inking. So what we are doing is we are doing the center main letters, thick letters. Let's use a black to start it. When this starts coming together in the final stage, that's the most exciting part of what we are doing here. Let's give the D a slight uneven bow. I'm not keeping these levels purposefully. The top, maybe this has gone a slight more thick than needed. I'll just make it thinner. It looks better. I'm deviating it slightly from my sketch because I want all these letters like the D, the R, the P, they want to be facing in this direction, like a slightly uneven bow. This is quite a slow process of doing all of these names. If you are watching me, just drop a hi. I would love to talk to you. carving out these letters. And we are going to make it look in the same style as the reference on the left here. Let's make one leg of the A's longer. The S is the most difficult just because of this curve happening, but we'll just carve it out. I can't wait to get to the coloring. If you're not watching this live, uh, watching the recorded one, just let me know what you liked about this process, and if you want to see more, or should I just get back to my character design art. Let me know. It's always nice to have new skills added to your skill set, and I have unlocked so many things when it comes to lettering just by 1 week of practice, and I feel I'm getting faster and better at it. All art skills are like, once you know something, it's like you can apply it to many more skills, and every new skill becomes easier to pick up because you already have that knowledge of design, composition. It's not always starting from zero. That's what I mean. Becomes easier and easier to pick up new skills. So let's view this overall. I feel it has come out pretty well. Let's just combine these and work towards coloring it. So to start, now you can see here we have orange, which is like a brown orange, and a darker one for the bottom shadow, and then it's casting a shadow on the background. So let's start with adding the background first, which will be like a dull olive green. Let's fill the color and then decide the saturation. It's always easier to tweak it rather than start with it. This is quite close to what we have, and let's make this yellow. Okay, now we want to add a 3D layer, and for that we will add this darker yellow, darker orange, and let's just complete. What I can do is I can duplicate this yellow layer and I can fill it with orange. So what I've selected already, and I can combine it with the shadow layer. What this will do is when I go to fill, it will be easier than with just the bounding boxes. So I can fill this up now, and as this is already filled, let me just show you. So this is already filled. We are just creating the 3D-ness of it underneath the letters. If you understand what I'm trying to say here. Let's make it slightly lighter and saturated. Before I proceed, I'll create one more layer, put it in clipping mask, and this will be a darker layer for the shadow. So let's put on multiply mode, and I'm picking the same color. And let's reduce this a tiny bit, and see, it's already started to look like our reference on the left. I kept it the same color so that's easier to just fill it up with the same color. Let's see how they've done the A. So the A is still here. Okay, slowly getting there. Let's add this 3D-ness to all our layers, all our letters. All you need to remember is keep this angle same everywhere. See how our letters are starting to become 3D, and then we'll need one more layer of shadow for the background, so that shadow drops on the background. I am so impatient, I just want to get to the shadow layer. Ooh, the first one is done. Now let's just add some shadows here. Let's see how it's done for the D. So I'm creating another layer on top of the background, putting it in multiply mode, and I'm using the same color as the background to cast this shadow. Which will go in this direction. And let's reduce the opacity to match our reference a bit. Okay, for the lower part, let's repeat the same thing. It's gonna take a long time. Let's push through. the angle should remain the same. And that's done. Let's add the shadows. I forgot the upper part of the S. The next step is do the background shadow. And we don't need to be so perfect about this, just get it slightly like what we have. suddenly we have a bit of contrast and add more 3Dness to our text here. Let's add some of these white bits. Abhinav, thank you for being here. Unfortunately, I guess this will be the last name that I'm doing. But you can check my Instagram and post your name there. So I'll be posting this on Instagram and I'm picking out some names from them. Just adding some final touches before we wrap up this live. So I have this texture layer which is on soft light mode, which is just a noise texture and adds a bit of this noise, if you can see here. And that's done. This was a quite a long thing to do, but thank you for joining this live stream. And if you want to see more live streams, if you are even watching this after it's recorded, so just comment below if whether you want to have more. Just type in the word more or thumbs up and let me know how I've done and if you have learned something from this live session.